we'll be focusing on the drop command. Drop, again, what we need to drop, we can drop table, we can drop any temp tables, we can drop views. Okay, so dropping any object particularly, that means deleting that object completely from the database. Now if you delete this object particularly, then you have no traces what was that before, deleted permanently, right, from the database, which is db. Okay, now once you drop anything, that means you delete that object permanently from the database and you cannot get it back again. All good. Now deleting the object means completely deleting, but we have one more alternative option here, which is called truncate command. Now truncate command in SQL, again, you can truncate the table, but when you say truncating a table, what exactly you do? Truncate deletes the data. Okay, deletes data completely, okay, from table, but it does not delete the structure of the table. Okay, so that table still exists. Okay, now what do I mean by this? Table still exists. When I say drop table, I deleted that table permanently from the database, so obviously the data inside that table also got deleted, correct, with that object permanently, you can't get it back. But when you say truncate table, it deletes the data completely from the table. Yes, absolutely, data is deleted completely from this command as well, but it does not delete the structure of table. That means if you have created an employee table with employee name, sorry, employee id, employee name, then this table will not be deleted permanently. But if there was a data like employee ID 101, Tejas 102, Ankit, right? This data will be deleted. Only these rows will be deleted from the truncate table. Okay, that means all the data, all the information from the table, if you want to delete permanently, then that information can be deleted, but the table name, the columns will remain as it is. That means the table structure will still be there in the database, and tomorrow if I want to insert some new records here, let's say 103, or let's say I want to again start from 10, it is okay. Okay, and we can add 10 where we can say, hey, Ankita, okay, or 103, anything, Sam. Okay, now if I didn't have this data earlier, still I can insert it. Yes, absolutely. Do I have the previous data now? No, I do not have. Tejas and Ankit entry is deleted. Why? Because we have used the truncate table command. Okay, so new data you can insert any particular point of time in the same table and in the same structure. Okay, which you were not allowed to do in drop table, because drop table was deleting that table employee permanently. So obviously the columns, the structure, the data, everything is deleted. Okay, so this is the difference between drop table and truncate table.
Tejas, I have a question.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
So after deleting the data using the truncate statement, so
Mhm.
exactly what does it hold? It holds the indexes, or by default, what is the data type then after deleting the data?
Data type of all the columns will remain same, it won't change. The table structure, when I say, right, so the
Yes.
particular structure or the schema of the table will remain as it is. If the employee id was having the data type integer, it will remain integer. If your employee name was a varchar, let's say name 50, it will remain as it is, same. Okay, so the data type, nothing will change, only the data will be deleted. Okay, imagine there is a excel sheet. Okay, and I have this employee id and employee name created, correct, and as I said, I will have 101, 102, Tejas, Ankit. Now uh, maybe Kalyani has logged in today, she saw this information, she says, hey, this data is irrelevant, this is false data. I want to delete this data only from this table. What she will do? She will write a syntax truncate table employee. Okay. Now entire data from this employee table will be deleted. Okay. So we will delete this data using this command. Correct. But these column names, anything happened to those? No, those are untouched.
Yes.
The data type is untouched, the column names are untouched, and absolutely the table name is also untouched. Now if you want to reuse this table and you want to again add new entries, okay, and here let's say you want new names, okay, you can do this, right? So truncating means just deleting the entire data from the table, no limits. All data will be deleted. Okay, not specific one.
Perfect.
If you want to only delete specific rows, then there is another function which we will be covering up, which is called delete function. Okay, but before shifting to that, uh, are you clear with drop and truncate for now?
Yes. Yes. Definitely.
Delete is a function, or delete is not a function. Delete is a SQL command which is used particularly to delete specific rows or records from the table. Okay. Now delete specific rows or records from the table. That means if I have the employee table and I just want the records to be deleted, let's say, okay, I don't want the last row, okay, I want this row to be deleted, okay, but I want the first row there. So how to do this? Because if I would have truncated it, obviously this first row or entire data will be deleted using the truncate command, correct? So I don't want to delete all the data, I just want to delete this data, okay, the second row. Now how to delete this second row explicitly? So you need to give this keyword, let's say employee name equals to Vaishnavi or employee id equals to 102, right? Something I need to specifically mention to delete that specific row from the database. Now is it allowed for me to mention that specific uh, column name values in truncate command? No. Truncate table employee means truncating the entire data available in the table. So you don't have that opportunity to keep the specific data and delete the specific data. So what to do now? So to solve this problem, we have the delete command where you can mention your where clause. So where clause again is a filter to your delete statement or the SQL statement, which can help you to delete the data particularly for any specific condition. So if that condition satisfies, then the data will delete for those rows only where the condition satisfies. So let's say I have this delete command, delete from employee table, where employee id equals to 102. Okay, so delete all the data from the employee table where employee id equals to 102. So wherever you find the employee id 102 in the table, okay, just delete that data, I don't want it, right? So if I mention such thing, all the data will be deleted from the table, okay, using the delete function. But do I have this row in the table right now? Yes, I still have the first row in the table still after using the delete command, because I have mentioned explicitly a where clause. That means I have explicitly mentioned some particular condition, right, to satisfy to particularly delete the data. Okay, so I have mentioned some condition to satisfy. If that satisfies, then delete all the data wherever the condition satisfies. Okay, that is what the delete function is doing, or delete command is doing. Okay, now one interview question is there. What if you don't mention this where clause? Will the delete function work, delete statement work? Anybody? No. See, if you write this statement, Okay, delete from employee and truncate table employee. Both the queries will do the same job. The first statement, which is delete from employee without any where clause, correct? Still, it will delete all the data from the table. Why? Because there is no where condition you have mentioned here, correct? So it will not understand whether that is Ankita, that is Vaishnavi, or 102, whatever it is. Delete from employee table means delete everything from employee table. Don't touch the structure, don't touch the column name, architecture, schemas, okay, or the data types. Keep that structure as it is, but delete entire data from the delete command. So what is the difference then? Truncate table from employee table. This command is also deleting entire data. Delete from employee. This command is also deleting all the data from the employee table. Correct? If there is no where clause explicitly added here. Then what is the difference between both? I can use delete also then to delete the data, right? And I can use truncate also to delete the entire data. Yes, absolutely. I mean, you can use any one of them to delete the entire data, okay, from the table. But remember, if you want to use any specific condition, right, to delete any specific data from the table, then you can't use the truncate table command, right, or truncate command. Then you have to use delete command anyway. Okay, so delete command helps you to delete the data particularly for any condition, or else if there is no condition, still that is fine, it will delete entire data from the table. Okay, now interviewer will ask you, then if you can use this command, if you can use this command as well, which one will you prefer? Okay, so your answer should be, I'll prefer truncate command if I want to delete entire data from the table. Then interviewer may ask that then delete from employee is also doing the same stuff, right? This can also delete the entire data, correct? Then why don't you prefer delete? So there is a slight difference between both the commands. We will try to understand. Now, as I said, delete command can have where clause, correct? So we can mention here in the differences that delete can have where clause, okay? But is your truncate allowing you to get that? No. So we can't have where clause in the truncate statement. That's the first difference. Okay. That at least in delete you can get some other condition. But Tejas, you still not answered my question that delete from employee and truncate table employee both doesn't have any clause, any conditions. Both are doing the same job right now at least. Then what will happen? Which one I should prefer? Still, I will say truncate table command you have to refer. Now, why? Because delete command have the logging system of the table is on the specific rows. So delete command logs individual rows, okay, from table, and truncate command logs entire table at a time. So when you say that, hey Tejas, I want to delete the table, yes, delete from table command is also deleting entire data from the table, but as it has a functionality at the background to log individual row from the table, so even if you say that Tejas delete this data 101 and 102, absolutely delete function will delete. But do you know how it will delete? It will delete first row, then it will delete second row, like this. So row by row deletion will happen in the delete function at the background. But in truncate table command, it will not have row by row iterations. It will log entire data from the table and delete in one go. So which one is faster? The one which is logging entire data and deleting absolutely in one go, or such data where you have, let's say, 1 million records here and you are using delete function, how many times it will run? Each row it will have to delete, correct? One by one it will start deleting the data. So obviously delete command will take much more time, right, in comparison with truncate command if you want to delete the high volume data. Understood? So This is the major difference between truncate and delete. Delete function can also be used without where clause, yes, but still truncate is faster than, because truncate is meant to delete the entire data from the table. That means it is its job that log entire data and delete entire data in one go. That is what truncate is doing. Delete function doesn't have that opportunity, because you can have a where clause here, right, which you are not providing right now. So, but even though you are not providing the where clause or the condition, delete has such behavior to go row by row. Because what if you mention here a where clause where emp id equals to 102, still it has to go row by row to check it, right? First row it will check whether employee id 102, no, then don't delete. Come at the second row, whether the employee id is 102, yes, then delete it, correct? So row by row delete function has to check by default. Now whether you provide the where clause or you do not provide the where clause, the basic nature or the behavior of the delete command will not change, right? Still, if you don't mention anything, still it will delete all the records, but each row it will go. And truncate, it will not go row by row, it will select all the data, and one time in one go it will delete the data. Okay, so this is the explanation you need to give in the interviews, that delete command logs individual rows and truncate command logs entire table at one time, so that delete is slower than truncate, correct? Or else truncate is faster than delete function if there is no condition applied in delete command itself. Okay, yes, it can have where clause, but even without where clause also delete function can delete command can work. Okay, it is not necessary to every time mention where clause. If you do not have a where clause in delete, still the delete statement will work. Okay, and when you say this, then interviewer purposefully ask you that, hey, if without where clause also delete is working and deleting entire data, truncate is also deleting entire data, then what is the difference? Then this is the difference you need to say, that delete is slower because it is logging individual row while deleting the data, even though it is deleting all the records, and truncate vice versa, logs entire table, and truncate is faster than delete because it is deleting entire data in one go. Okay, now if you delete data using delete command, you can roll back the data. That means you can get that data back by some way. But if you truncate the data, you cannot roll back the data. What do I mean by rollback? Rollback means getting the data back. That means uh, what I would say, that undo the transaction. Okay, that if you have um, particularly deleted one row from this table, let's say, and let's say you have deleted this record Vaishnavi here, 102, but you realize that, hey, I did not want to delete this was deleted by mistake, then of course you can get it back if you might have deleted using the delete function, sorry, delete command. Okay, like this, if you have the query, you have deleted it once, that's fine, you can still roll it back. Okay, somehow, if you have do this with delete. But if you use truncate table employee, all data will be deleted, you cannot get it back ever. Okay, so truncate and delete difference: truncate is faster, truncate logs entire data in the one table, that's why it is faster than delete. And you cannot roll back any data using the truncate function. Delete function vice versa, all opposite things. Delete function can be used when you need to roll back the data. It is slower than the truncate function because it logs individual row. But if I want to delete the specific data from the table, then I will use the delete command, because I can mention explicitly some condition which is not allowed in the truncate command. Okay, so these are the differences between both truncate and delete. And absolutely, along with this, interviewer will be making this little curious with drop command as well, that what is the difference between delete and drop, drop and truncate, okay, or delete and truncate. So somehow interval will shift the questions between all three. So delete and truncate, what is the difference? Drop, drop and truncate. Drop is deleting the entire table only, right? So deletes entire object, okay? And absolutely data is also deleted here, but in truncate only data is deleted, right? Table structure remains same, okay? So this is the major difference between truncate and drop, where drop deletes the entire object, but structure is also deleted, and truncate structure remains, but